Good morning. I would like to call to order the February 3rd, 2021 meeting of the TPA's Technical Advisory Committee. Pursuant to the TPA Emergency Order 2021-01, the Palm Beach TPA is conducting this meeting virtually using the Zoom webinar platform. The TPA selected this platform because it does not require the public to purchase or download any additional software or equipment to attend this meeting. Aside from the Zoom webinar platform that the participants will use to attend remotely, the public will have no discernible difference in their ability to watch the meeting from that of someone physically attending the meeting. Instruction to join this virtual meeting, as well as contact information for a TPA staff member to assist you, are provided in the published meeting agenda. Please note that although some members of the TAC are attending the meeting in person, committee members will be appearing at today's meeting remotely, either via webcam or telephone. Additionally, scheduled presenters and the TAC liaison will also be appearing via webcam or telephone. Before we begin, I will summarize our public comment procedures for this virtual meeting. Written comments may be submitted online at the website provided in the agenda. Verbal comments may be made by a virtual attendee using the raise hand feature in the Zoom platform. Lastly, a verbal and/or written comment may be provided by an in-person attendee submitting a comment card available at the welcome table. Staff, please call the roll so that we can establish a quorum.
Before I call the roll, I want to remind members present in person to unmute your microphones by pushing the button on the base. And then members present virtually, if you can remember to unmute yourselves. And then just to note separately, Terrence, I was able to allow your call-in to be heard. So if you have any issues, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Modisum Alturk.
Yes.
Anna Bulowska is excused. Terrence Bailey.
Here.
Jim Bell.
Here.
Jamie Brown. Lena Camacho.
Here.
Here. Lorraine Cargill. Natalie Crowley.
Mike Morrow for Natalie.
Brian Davis.
Here.
Kim Delaney. Thomas Driscoll.
Here, that was a here.
Thank you. Thomas Driscoll. Kara Ferris.
Here.
Alex Hansen.
Here.
Aaron Hoffman.
Here.
Andrew Mack.
Mike Rumpf for Andrew.
Meher Mansour.
Here.
Christopher Marsh.
Here.
Michael Odell.
Here.
Richard Pereira.
Here. Hello?
I can faintly hear you, Richard. If you're going to speak during the meeting, if you can get closer to the microphone, please.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Richard Reed.
Kim Glass Castro for Rich Reed.
Gary Sypek. Maria Tahara.
Here.
Kenny Wilson. John Crane.
Here.
We have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Staff, are there any modifications to the agenda?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Are there any changes to the minutes? If not, can I have a motion to adopt the minutes as presented?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Odell and seconded by Mr. Morrow. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, thank you. Moving on. Staff, have any general comments been received?
I'm sorry. No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the next item. Comments from the chair and members. I don't have any comments. If any committee members has a comment for the committee, please utilize the raise your hand function of the Zoom platform to ask to be recognized, and then remember to unmute your microphone once you're recognized. Do you have anyone?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, next item. Andrew, would you like to provide us with the liaison report?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to pop it up on the screen here. And a reminder, this is going to be available on the TAC site on our webpage after the meeting if you need to find these links. One thing I wanted to mention before we get started on the liaison report, and this is also in the backup, it's the summary points from the January 21st, 2021 TPA Governing Board meeting. And as a reminder for everyone, during that meeting, the board passed a resolution to allow a virtual quorum for all of the TPA committees when the county's in a state of emergency. So that includes this meeting, the Technical Advisory Committee, the Citizens Advisory Committee, our Bicycle Trailways Pedestrian Advisory Committee, and the Palm Beach County Transportation Disadvantage Local Coordinating Board. So a few updates. Again, if you have not, we haven't had any progress from last month. If you have not done your census yet for this committee, we really appreciate it. We're still at 31 out of 48 responses. We'd like to get that done soon so we can track that for federal requirements. It's a really simple survey. It's only about a minute or two. So please fill that out. Our next governing board meeting is going to be on February 18th at 9 a.m. and it's going to both be in person and virtually. The Transportation Disadvantage Board is having a public workshop. This is going to collect input regarding TD program and services in Palm Beach County, and that's going to be on February 24th, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. The details will be posted to the website 1 week prior to the meeting. So you can find that on our website at palmbeachtpa.org/meeting. The local initiatives and transportation alternatives programs that we administer here at the TPA, those applications are due February 26th, 2021. So that's the end of this month. You are required to do a pre-application meeting with FDOT and our staff here at the TPA. If you have not done that yet, you really need to reach out to Jason Price or Alyssa Frank with our office. And we talked to us after the meeting for more details on that. But again, that's due on February 26th, 2021. And then last two, there's a 2021 AARP Community Challenge Grant, and they provide small grants to fund quick action products that can help communities become more livable for people of all ages. You can find out more information at aarp.org/community challenge. The application period opens this month, so you'll find out more information there. March is Florida Bicycle Month, so the TPA encourages local governments and partner agencies to host events to promote bicycling and bicycle safety, as well as participate in the TPA's group bicycle ride on Friday, March 26th, and that's going to be down here in West Palm Beach. For more information, you can go to our website, and it's also at walkbikepalmbeach.org. And the last one is high visibility enforcement grants that are offered by FDOT. We've had this on our laser report in the past. If you want more information on that, it's at alerttodayflorida.com/HVE. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Do any committee members have any comments or questions on the liaison report? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Next is action items. First is a motion to recommend adoption of amendment number 3 to fiscal year FY 21-25 Transportation Improvement Program. I'd like to invite Jason Price, the TPA TIP coordinator, to present this item.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Price. I'm the Palm Beach TPA TIP coordinator. And today, I'm going to present to you amendment number 3 to the Transportation Improvement Program, which will request FDOT amendments to modify 2 projects and add 2 projects to the Transportation Improvement Program. As a reminder to the group, this is an action item that will require a vote at the end of the presentation and the discussion. Just a review to the group, why is a TIP amendment needed? What are what are the conditions that warrant a TIP amendment. What I have on the screen are some of the items that trigger a TIP amendment. And the first is the addition or deletion of a project from the Transportation Improvement Program. Also, a cost increase of more than 20% of the project and $2 million if it's over $2 million. And lastly is the change in a scope of work. And that could be the change of length of more than a half a mile and 20%, or change to the number of through traffic lanes. So next I'll go over the 4 projects within the as part of the amendment. The first one here is an existing project, which is in the city of Boynton Beach at various locations. And the nature of this amendment is to increase the project length to include a local roadway that was missing from the project description. So that change has been highlighted, as you see in the proposed TIP changes, where the length has been increased and some of the financial information cost has been increased due to that length change. The next project is also an existing project, and this is Bridgman Drive, Wellington Road, and Prairie Road, or various locations. And this is a amendment because it has to correct the project location with the correct termini, which is Longwood Road. Originally, it showed Prairie Road, and that had to be changed to the correct termini, which warranted a TIP amendment. The next 2 projects are new projects that have been added to the TIP. And the first one is the Boca Raton Passenger Rail Station for Brightline. Now, to review some of the funding here, Boca Raton received a CRISI grant in the amount of $16.3 million, as well as private funds from Brightline for $19.6 million. And lastly, the city of Boca Raton contributed ad valorem funds in the amount of $10 million. With the total of these funds, the project includes a new Brightline passenger rail station, a temporary parking garage until there's a new parking garage station that's built as part of the project for both the Brightline station and the adjacent city library. There will also be area roadway improvements and construction of a relocated community garden, all as part of the project. The next project is also a new project, and this is at Banyan Boulevard Railroad Crossing. And this will be a new project to install signal safety upgrades at that location. So in conclusion, those are the 4 projects as part of this TIP amendment. If there's any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, I need a motion to recommend adoption of amendment number 3 to fiscal year 21 to 25 TIP, and then I'll open the floor to discussion. Don't everyone go at once.
So moved. Or second.
So I'm going based on virtually. I had a first by Kim Delaney and a second by Maria Tahara.
Okay, do I have any hands raised for comments or discussion?
I don't see any hands raised virtually, Madam Chair.
Okay, I don't see any cards up here. These seem to be pretty self-explanatory, reading through the packet. They're easy. So I need, hearing no further discussion, I have a motion by Kim Delaney and a second by Maria Tahara. We are going to do this vote by roll call. Margie, please call the roll.
So the motion on the floor is to recommend adoption of amendment number 3 to the fiscal year 21-25 Transportation Improvement Program as presented. Before I call the roll, virtual members, please unmute your microphones. In-person members, please remember to turn on your microphones. Please respond by saying either yes or no when I call your name. Modus Alturk,
Yes.
Anna Bulowski is absent. Terrence Bailey,
Yes.
Jim Bell,
Yes.
Jamie Brown,
Yes.
Lena Camacho,
No.
Lorraine Cargill, and I believe Vicky Gatanis was trying to join the meeting, but I don't see that she has at this time. So I will mark her as absent. Michael Morrow,
Yes.
Brian Davis,
Yes.
Kim Delaney,
Yes.
CJ Land,
Yes.
Alex Hansen,
No.
Aaron Hoffman,
Yes.
Kara Ferris,
Yes.
Andrew Mack. I'm sorry,
Mike.
Michael Rumpf.
Rumpf for Andrew. Yes.
Thank you. Maher Mansour,
Yes.
Christopher Marsh,
Yes.
Michael Odell,
Yes.
Richard Pereira,
Yes.
Kim Glass Castro,
Yes.
Will Hicks,
Yes.
Maria Tahara,
Yes.
Kenny Wilson, and I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I do have a phone number that called in, and I just want to see if maybe it's Kenny. Kenny Wilson, are you able to unmute your microphone? I'm not sure if you're calling in from a 561 number that I see. I'm sorry, Madam Chair, because I don't have a verbal vote, I will have to mark him as absent from the vote. So I have that two were opposed. Lena
Yes.
Camacho and, oh, thank you so much, Kenny. I'll mark it as a yes. So I will have Lena Camacho and Alex Hansen as opposed.
Okay. Next item. I'd like to invite Andrew to present this item for a motion to recommend adoption of the 2021 safety targets.
Thank you. Okay. So these are our safety performance measures that we are federally required to annually adopt. And so in this, you'll be seeing for the first time also some Palm Tran safety performance measures that I'll be going through. And as a reminder, in your backup, you received a summary of crashes, a map of the pedestrian and bicycle fatalities, the Palm Tran memorandum that discusses in more detail why they chose their safety targets, and then also a draft resolution. We typically don't provide draft resolutions in our committee packets, usually just for the board, but since we have so many measures on here, that's a good place to see the summary of what the targets are proposed for 2021. Okay, to restate our vision, a safe, efficient, and connected multimodal transportation system, safe being the first one in there as a goal. So the required safety measures that we need to set targets for include number of fatalities, the rate of fatalities per 100 million vehicle miles traveled, number of serious injuries, the rate of serious injuries per 100 million vehicle miles traveled, and the number of non-motorized fatalities and serious injuries. So those include pedestrian and bicyclists. So new for you this year, what you're reviewing, they already adopted these measures at Palm Tran, and then we are also required to adopt the same measures. These are the ones that Palm Tran has. So we have number of fatalities, the rate of fatalities per 100,000 vehicle revenue miles. So vehicle revenue miles are when it's in service, when it's having passengers. So it's not that downtime when they're getting to their routes. Number of injuries, the rate of injuries per 100,000 vehicle revenue miles. Number of safety events per 100,000 VRM, and then the vehicle revenue miles average distance between mechanical failures. And so this is required for all modes for Palm Tran. So that's going to include both the fixed route service and the paratransit service. So we're going to have measures to show you and targets for both of those services. So our previous targets, we adopted as a TPA targets of 0 fatalities and serious injuries in 2018, 2019, and then again in 2020. And some other background, we've set for for FHWA has set a 0 fatalities on our nation's roadway system as the only acceptable goal. FDOT has also formally adopted targets of 0 for those years, 2018, 2019, and 2020. And they've also set their target for 2021 as Vision 0. And then just to remind everyone that there's many communities in the state that are part of the Vision 0 network, West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Tampa, and Hillsborough. And then we also have other jurisdictions, even in our county here, moving forward that are looking to establish Vision 0 plans for their communities. So this is a large table for you all to sort of digest. This is the total fatalities and serious injuries. And what you see on the screen here is going from 2013 to 2020. And the first row for each one in the gray is going to be the fatalities, and that's the annual numbers. And then you'll see fatalities average after that, and that goes the same for all the other measures. And so the average is the past 5 years of data. And the reason why we show it this way is really there's fluctuations years to years when it comes to crash data. So you sort of want to be looking at the bigger picture of overall trends. Obviously, you know, you want to see year to year improvements as well, but it's good to bring in the overall trend. And what I wanted to focus on is really 2019, and then I'll also discuss a little bit more on 2020. The reason I want to focus a little bit more on 2019 is because those are the official numbers we get from FDOT when it comes to what we're required to report on for performance measures. It comes from the FDOT State Safety Office. Those 2020 numbers are preliminary numbers that I pulled from the University of Florida Signal 4 Analytics. So these aren't the official FDOT numbers. The crash data is still being entered and then being cleaned up by FDOT. So we typically don't see we won't see the 2020 numbers till well into 2021. But you can still see sort of where those numbers are headed. So for 2019, we're really seeing again, an increase overall for all of our performance measures for crashes. So increases in fatalities, fatality rates, serious injury rate, and bicycle pedestrian fatality as well. The serious injury average seems to be going down a little bit, which is nice. And then for 2020, just the preliminary numbers, but it's really not looking promising either. Right now, for that preliminary number for fatalities I pulled up was 178. And hopefully it doesn't rise too much more, but there may be a few more fatalities added to that number once the data is finalized. So you see a smaller number for serious injuries in 2020. That number might also climb a little bit more, but hopefully that is trending downward. And then for the rates of fatalities and serious injuries, right now I have a placeholder in there for 2020. If you can see the bottom row, those rates are based off of 100 million vehicle miles traveled. And I really just made it consistent for 2019 because we don't have the 2020 vehicle miles traveled released yet. But we're most likely going to see a reduction in vehicle miles traveled due to the pandemic. And this was nationwide. And so what some of the trends that we're seeing for nationwide is really, we are seeing a larger serious injury and fatality rate. So we are expecting those numbers to go up in 2020. Oh, I love that. For Palm Tran fatalities, injuries, and then those mechanical failures, a similar table, we're going from 2016 to 2020. And we also showed the 2021 targets on this screen from Palm Tran. And right now I'm just showing the fixed route transit service. You can see overall they have targets for 0. Their 2020 numbers going back a few years actually for fatalities is 0. So, you know, it's a safe system once you're on the system. You know, we do have those connections to the bus stops where our pedestrian and bicyclists are the most vulnerable. But really, once you get on the system, it's a safe system. They have a target of 0, and they've been hitting that target for most of their years. That goes the same for the fatality rate. Injuries, they had a reduction in 2020 from the previous year of 2019, so that's on a downward trend. They do have a target a little bit higher in 2021. That's probably because of their average over time over the past 5 years is a bit higher because they had a large number in 2016. Their injury rate has gone down a little bit in 2020, which is nice. Again, their average over time has been around 0.9, and that's really what their target is for 2021. Their safety events and their safety event rates have been going down in 2020. And then the average distance between mechanical failures went down a little bit in 2020 compared to and total distance and compared to 2019, and that's actually in the wrong direction. They want to go a greater distance between mechanical failures. So that was for a fixed route transit. And then the next one is their paratransit service, and it has the exact same measures. Again, a target of 0 for fatalities and fatality rate. They've seen a reduction in injuries in 2020. They have a target of 34. Injury rate is 0.3 and a target of 0.4. Safety events has been around in the 30s, and it's been dropping to 26, and they have a target of 43. Mechanical distance between failures, the average distance between mechanical failures, sorry, has actually gone up, and that's good news, and they have a target of 7,700 in 2021. So those were the tables, and then I just have a few graphs to make it more visually understandable. Again, this is going back to the fatalities, and then the red line is the 5-year average. And you can see that it is trending upwards still for fatalities per year. The next one is serious injuries by year, and again, 5-year average. This one, as you can see, has been trending down slightly over the past few years. Once those 2020 numbers are finalized, it probably won't be trending down that much, but it seems to be in the past few years trending downward a little bit. And this is my last graph for you. Pedestrian bicycle fatalities and serious injuries by year. In your backup, we also included a map of 2018 to 2020 fatalities for pedestrian bicyclists. You can see this is also climbing, which is trending in the wrong direction for us. Increases year over year, and then obviously that average is moving up because of that. And so I just want to talk one more moment again about 2020 numbers that are preliminary, but what we've been seeing. You know, nationwide, there was a reduction in overall fatalities, but here in our county and in the state, we really didn't see that much of a reduction in fatalities. So those fatality rates are probably going to be pretty high when the final numbers are released in 2020. I was looking into some research on it and some preliminary papers on it about the impacts of COVID. And even though we do see a reduction in the vehicle miles traveled, some of that reduction in congestion may result into higher speeds, which could increase the amount of the severity of the injuries for fatalities and serious injuries. Some of the drivers on the roadway may be less risk adverse, so the ones out there on the roadway may be more prone to being risky. There seems to be some preliminary evidence of decrease in seatbelt use, an increase in alcohol and drug use brought on by the pandemic and maybe from the economy. And then this is just one that we added in ourselves, but there seems to be an increase in pedestrian bicycle activity. We don't have true counts out there for our area, but just from being out there, it seems that we've had an increase in this past year. And so many of those ones that I highlighted as a footnote, those all came from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration summary. And if you wanted that information, you can just talk to me afterwards and I can provide that paper to you. And I just wanted to mention, we do have a TPA strategic plan action to analyze the impact of COVID-19 that we put in this last strategic plan. So we'll provide more information on just overall impacts of COVID when it comes to all types of travel on our roadway system, for vehicle miles traveled, for ridership of transit, and then we'll also include a section on safety. So those are the summaries of previous data, and I just have a few more tables for the recommended targets for 2021. And so you can see in this table are fatalities, our rate of fatalities, serious injuries, the rate of serious injuries, and the number of non-roadwise fatalities and serious injuries. And so you can see the 2019 actuals, those 2020, which are preliminary numbers, and then our Vision Zero target still for 2021 is our staff recommendation to still push towards that Vision Zero target. Here are the first time you guys are seeing those is the recommended 2021 targets for transit from Tran. This is the fixed routes bus service, also wanting 0 fatalities and the fatality rate for 2021. And then you can see the other targets for injuries, injury rate, safety events, safety event rate, and distance between mechanical failures. And the same goes for the para-drainage service, which is that door-to-door service for Palm Tran. Number of fatalities, fatality rate being targets of 0. You can see number of injuries, injury rate, safety events, and distance between mechanical failures. And that's all I have for you. Those are the last 3 slides are the final targets for 2021 is up for adoption today. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, I need a motion to recommend adoption of the 2020 safety targets, and then I will open the floor to discussion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, I have a card up.
Yes, Madam
Okay.
Chair. This is John Crane, DOT, and it's not related to the. This is John Crane from DOT. It's not related to the adoption of the motion or the item, but more of a question and clarification on the data that you have there. I just had, in terms of the ped bike fatalities, I know we're tracking the number and we have a vision of 0. However, you had noted an increase in 2020 due to COVID-19 probably in the area. And I think that's probably a valid assertion. I remember stories about you couldn't buy a bike because there was a shortage. So if there's some way we can identify a rate or an exposure level to help maybe quantify that exposure, just because the number is going up doesn't mean we're not doing a better job of addressing the safety. So that's just one point of consideration for the future. And then regarding the transit injuries and rates, I just, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but are these, so an injury or a fatality on a transit related crash, is that a rider or when a transit vehicle collides with a pedestrian or another vehicle? How are those calculated?
That's a good question, John. Thank you. I believe, let me see if I believe it's both for on the riders on the bus, and then also those that they may come in contact with. But I can also, I think we have Palm Tran on the line. They may be able to chime in if they're available, Great.
Good morning. This is Christian Londano from Palm Tran. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Just to clarify, both are captured as part of our safety metrics. The injuries relate to our passenger injuries, and the safety events relate to or include also the vehicle-on-vehicle collisions.
Thank you.
No problem.
Margie, do we have any hands raised in the virtual world?
No, Madam Chair, I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, I don't see any cards up. Hearing no further discussion, I have a motion by Mr. Odell and seconded by Mr. Morrow. We're going to do this vote by roll call. Margie, please call the roll.
Okay, so the motion on the floor is to recommend adoption of the 2021 safety targets as presented. Before I call the roll, virtual members, please unmute your microphones. In-person members, please remember to turn on your microphones. Please respond by saying either yes or no when I call your name. Modusum Alturk.
Yes.
And Ibrulowska is absent. Terrence Bailey.
Yes.
Jim Bell.
Yes.
Jamie Brown.
Yes.
Lena Camacho.
Yes.
Vicky Gatanis.
Yes.
Michael Morrow,
Yes.
Brian Davis,
Yes.
Kim Delaney,
Yes.
CJ Land,
Yes.
Alex Hansen,
Yes.
Aaron Hoffman,
Yes.
Kara Ferris,
Yes.
Michael Rumpf,
Yes.
Maher Mansour,
Yes.
Christopher Marsh,
Yes.
Michael Odell,
Yes.
Richard Pereira,
Yes.
Kim Glass Castro,
Yes.
Will Hicks,
Yes.
Maria Tahara,
Yes.
Kenny Wilson.
Yes.
It passes unanimously, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the next information items. A, Vision Zero Action Plan Status Update. Andrew, will you please present this item?
Yes, thank you. So this is a quick just update on our Vision Zero action plan. So just to sort of for some history on this one. So when we first adopted as the TPA board, the Vision Zero targets for fatalities and serious injuries, that was back in 2018 was the first time we adopted targets. And then we were tasked with creating a Vision Zero action plan to see how we can move towards meeting Vision Zero fatalities and serious injuries. And so we adopted one in 2019, and it included policy, funding, and cultural related actions to go towards that target. And then what we wanted to do, it's been a few years, so we've been providing status updates, but this year we're also now working towards providing an entire update to the Vision Zero action plan to really go into more detail on our targets and figure out if there's any other actions out there that might be beneficial. So you'll be seeing that later on this year, an update to that for your input. Just a summary of some of the things that has happened this past year when it comes to some of the actions in that plan. We had the Vision Zero report and an update of the actions that we're providing today. And then also, as I mentioned, we'll be providing an update to the Vision Zero action plan later this year. We're still working on the proposed revisions to the Florida Design Manual and Florida Green Book. This past year, I believe we had FDOT come to this committee as well, but this discussed a little bit of some updates they had for the design manual when it related to shared use pathways and separated bicycle facilities, and then also context classification. So if there's anything else, when you guys are all looking through those two manuals for design that you believe would improve safety, you can always come to the TPA and we can push for that at the TPA level and then also at our state level. So if you do find more things in there where you can work with you all to see how that can be incorporated into those state documents. And then lastly, on the policy actions, crash analysis for projects, still collaborating with FDOT on seeing how they're going to roll out maybe some crash analysis for local roadways and maybe how we can prioritize highway safety improvement program funds. And then also when FDOT's been coming to us with some product development, environmental phases or preliminary engineering phases, we really focus a lot in those meetings with them on safety and how the products are incorporating more safety. Funding related actions, both the transportation alternatives and the local initiatives scoring systems have points for areas for lighting when it comes to crashes in dark and unlit locations. We're working on performance measure templates for all of our products, more of like a before and after when it comes to how those new facilities out there are doing. We're establishing pedestrian bicycle count program, automated with the county, which I'll show a picture in a second. And then we're continuing to review resurfacing products for complete streets and safety opportunities. So one of the new initiatives for the pedestrian bicycle counts is we're working with county traffic engineering and then also with Boca Raton's traffic engineering to install these pedestrian bicycle count locations at intersections. So it's using the existing camera system. And so we have about about a dozen locations so far, and we're trying to expand as well. We're working with the county in Boca to figure out what other intersections are feasible to install this, and this is a preliminary sort of look at that and how it's being captured. So hopefully long term, if this is a viable option and it's reliable, we can continue to expand this count program and also integrate this hopefully into the state's bike ped program as well. And then you all saw this list last month, but these are the upcoming resurfacing projects for fiscal year 2022 to 2026. And these all have design in fiscal year 2022. So this is design going to be starting later this year into early next year. And so we look at as staff look at the draft tentative work program and see these projects and try to get out ahead of them to see how we can incorporate other types of safety improvements and work with FDOT and the local municipalities on those. So if you see a product in here that's in your community and you want to discuss with us early on in the process before FDOT goes out and awards a contract, you can meet with us and with the product manager, and we can get more into the details on what we could do at those locations. And we'll be doing this every year when we get new resurfacing products that come in. And lastly, culture-related activities. A lot of these are really in-person activities, so many of them were hard to do during the pandemic. But we did host a Vision Zero workshop in 2019 and a peer exchange in 2019 in Tampa. And then we had a follow-up peer exchange from the Tampa one in 2020. Continue to participate in safety events, although there was a smaller amount this past year in 2020. We have other cities that are going towards Vision Zero in our communities. Boynton Beach is working towards a Vision Zero plan, and also Palm Beach Gardens. And lastly, there is an online comment map to gather feedback from concerned citizens, and they can input in that map their safety concerns or other concerns they have. And so that is live now and on our website. We'll be promoting that. And if there's any improvements to that, we're looking to always make it a better, feedback loop on that program. And that's all I have for you. I don't have an insight, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay. Do any committee members have any comments? I don't see any raised cards here. Anybody online raise their hand?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. Moving on to B, Performance Measures Dashboard. I'd like to invite Jason Price to present this item.
Good morning again, everyone. So I'm going to walk you through our performance measure dashboard that we've been working towards with a consultant, My Sidewalk. So we've developed this to give you a way to view all of our performance measures, and you can find it starting at our homepage that's up on the screen now at palmbeachtpa.org. You can go to, I think, plans and resources, and then one of those tabs is performance measures. When you click on performance measures, it'll take you to our homepage for our performance measures. Now from here, you'll see the scorecards that you've seen previously in the other presentations, and this is a more detailed list showing you all of the metrics that we track for performance measures through here. But also to get to our dashboard, in the top portion of the text, there is a link here that will be highlighted and repositioned on this web page. But when you do click on it, this is the actual dashboard that we've developed with My Sidewalk. And you can see there's a bit of text introducing what the performance measures are, as well as on the left hand side on the tab, you'll see that those are the goals of our the goals from our long range transportation plan. And so within those goals, there's the metrics within those. So when you scroll down, you'll see preserve, safe, efficient, connected, and multimodal. Those are those are all a part of our vision. And when you click on one of those, that will take you to each one of them. And that will give you a general overview of how is preserve being addressed through the performance measures, in addition to the scorecard of the metrics that are being tracked and how they're, when you go in deeper to those scorecard metrics, that'll give you the more detail on how they're being measured. But when we go a little further down, you'll see what we're doing about how to address those performance measures. And here you'll see there's about 3 tabs. There's the pavement and bridge conditions through the FDOT Transportation and Asset Management Plan. That's where we derive some of those numbers from. And then there's also 2 tabs below there. There's a Transit Asset Management Plan, and you've seen a lot of the transit metrics that we've tracked. Those come from this Transit Asset Management Plan, working collaboratively with either Tran or SFRTA. So just to give you an indication, in preserve on the left side, there's bridge is one of our metrics. So just to dive deeper into the actual metrics that are being measured and how they're being measured, when you go through these, you'll see how do we measure a bridge? What are the metrics that we measure on a bridge? And then how are we doing in terms of which bridges are in good condition, fair, or poor condition? And so you'll see here there's a graph showing that we're meeting the target. And then there's also a map further down supporting that information of where are all the bridges that are in good, fair, and poor condition. And you can see there's probably, if you look close enough, there are 2 bridges that are in poor condition on this map, however, and they are also in the work program and being addressed through the TIP over the next 5 years. So this is just an illustration of all of the metrics that we are tracking within the overarching goals of preserve, safe, efficient, connected, and multimodal. Feel free to go to our website and follow these links to our performance measure dashboard. And it's open for any suggestions or improvements. So if you do find something in here that could be improved or is in any way, please reach out to us and provide us input and comments, and we'll be sure to make the adjustments and improve this as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Fantastic. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Do any committee members have any comments? Seeing no cards raised in-house, I'll ask you if anyone's raising their hand online.
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Fantastic presentation. The next item is the Florida Bicycle Month. And I'd like to invite Alyssa Frank, TPA Pedestrian and Bicycle Coordinator, to present this item.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see some people here on this nice cold day and great to have people online. My name is Alyssa Frank, and I'm the Pedestrian Bicycle Coordinator here at the TPA. So I have an exciting presentation. March is Florida Bicycle Month. If we could go to the next slide. Oh, sorry, didn't realize that. No, it's okay. Oh. Thank you. Okay, so sorry about that. The controller is freaking out a little bit. So in the past years, we have had our municipalities have proclamations for Florida Bicycle Month, and we are encouraging our municipalities again to this year adopt them. In the past, we've had, we adopt our own, and then Palm Beach County has adopted them, the city of Boca Raton, the city of Boynton Beach, Delray Beach, Green Acres, Palm Beach Gardens, Wellington, West Palm Beach, town of Jupiter, Palm Springs, and Royal Palm Beach. If you're on this list, we'd love to see you be on this list again. If you are not on this list, we'd love to have you on this list. We actually have a sample resolution and proclamation on our website that is available, that you just fill in the information. And if you have any questions on where to get that, please reach out to me. I will help you out. But we would love to see more of our municipalities adopt proclamations for Florida Bicycle Month this year. We've also had some exciting events in the past. We've had bicycle trail rodeos and super fun days and bike to work rides. I am aware of a couple municipalities hosting events again this year. We understand that things are a little funky with COVID, but there are great ways to get outside, ride your bike, and social distanced bike rides. So we definitely are encouraging our municipalities to get things on the calendar in March, to encourage residents to bicycle and learn about safety and bicycling. If you guys have anything on the calendar or are thinking about it, please reach out to me so we can add it onto our calendar on Walk Bike Palm Beach website. That brings us to this slide. So this is our website, Walk Bike Palm Beach. We have a calendar up there that actually has all of the bicycle and pedestrian events that ever go on. And we would like to see this calendar for March have quite a few events on it. So please, like I said, if you are planning on hosting an event or discussing one, reach out to me, add it onto our calendar on this website, and we can help encourage people to attend. So of course, we are going to be hosting our annual bike ride. The TPA is going to be conducting this bike ride on Friday, March 26th, 2021. We will be meeting at the TPA office at 301 Datura Street at 7:45 that morning, and we will be leaving at 8 a.m. We're going to be doing a bike ride. The map is available on our website, and it's about 4 miles. It'll be a nice, smooth ride, and it should take a little less than 45 minutes. So we will be back at the TPA building at 8:45 in the morning, which should give everyone enough time to get to their offices. So please, please, please join us, share this, encourage people to join us. It'll be a lot of fun. We will also be giving out t-shirts, or Bike Palm Beach t-shirts, on a first come, first served basis if you do not already have one. So that way we can all be riding in uniform in a bright yellow shirt that says 3 feet on the back. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, any events coming up, any questions on resolutions or proclamations, please reach out to me. My contact information is on the screen, it's on the website. Grab me after the meeting and we can get some events planned and on the calendar. And that is it.
Thank you very much. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
I don't see any cards raised here. Or do we have any committee members with any requests to speak or hands raised online?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Next items are administrative items. The first is summary points from the January 21st, 2021 Governing Board meeting. This is an informational item only. There's no staff presentation on this item unless requested by a committee member. Do I have anyone who would like a presentation? Hearing none, staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, FTOT scheduling report, February 2021. This is also an informational item only. There's no staff presentation on this item unless requested by a committee member. Seeing no cards up here. Do we have anyone requesting online?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So we have no public comments. Okay, thank you. Moving forward. TPA priority project status reports. This is an informational item only as well. There's no staff presentation on this item unless requested by a committee member. Hearing no one. Staff, are there any public comments on this item?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay, our next meeting is March 3rd, 2021. Thank you for your patience with us as we conducted this committee meeting today. At this time, our committee meeting is adjourned at 9:54. Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
What?